Whether you're on Twitch, YouTube, Discord, Reddit, even in your matches, you probably heard the term EOMM. EOMM is engagement-oriented matchmaking. This is something a lot of players attribute to why they're losing and or why they quit the game in general. Well, that's what we're gonna talk about today. Let's talk EOMM. Now, before we hop into it, I've done a ton of research and nothing came up about EOMM when it comes to the developer's response to it. A lot of the content creators you possibly watched that may have cited responses from their team could have embellished a little bit. So that means that they possibly didn't have that information, but to make the video juicy, they kind of warped it a little bit to make it fit their MO. But if you guys have a link to what they said, to how they respond on a forum, YouTube video, recording, whatever, let me know in the comments below with a link and I'll gladly take a look at it. But as of right now in this video, there has been no response from the team whatsoever about any of this. All right, so hopping into it, what exactly is EOMM? What exactly does engagement-oriented matchmaking mean? Well, the theory behind it from a lot of players is pretty much this. If you play, let's just say 100 hours a week, the game is like, oh, you play a lot? Okay, well, let me make it harder for you to climb and reach your goal, so that way you'll play even more. And then the players who don't play that often, they'll have an easier time climbing because it's like, oh, you don't play that much. Well, if we give you some more rank, maybe you'll want to play more. And then if you play more, we'll pop you into that other category where we'll make it harder for you to climb again. That's pretty much the theory behind what the community is saying when it comes to engagement-oriented matchmaking. In summary, the more you play, the more the game's going to give you horrible teammates. The less you play, the better teammates you're going to get. That is the engagement-oriented matchmaking theory from the community. As I said before, there's been no official response to that matchmaking, probably because it doesn't exist and developers don't usually want to give their time to nonsense to feed the flames, but there has been no official response from them about it. Although the Marvel Rivals team hasn't come up with an official announcement about the EOMM situation, they have explained multiple times in the past how their matchmaking system works. And the same two things seem to pop up repeatedly. We have skill-based matchmaking, and then we also have player enjoyment matchmaking. And I think that player enjoyment matchmaking is what gets players hung up. And we'll talk more about that and what that really means in a few minutes, but let's go ahead and focus on that skill-based matchmaking first and what it means. For the most part, when we're talking about skill-based matchmaking, the only metric that Marvel Rivals generally has is the rank that you are, right? I don't even know why I just did air quotes for the rank that I am. This means that if you are Diamond, well, guess what? You're about to play with a whole bunch of Diamond players. That's not really skill-based matchmaking because there's a lot of things that can influence someone's rank. This is what we call inflation. If I play with a group of 4 and those 3 players are really good, maybe they're smurfing, maybe I'm playing with a duo that's helping me win more, well, I'm getting inflated into ranks that I don't deserve to be in. That's not truly skill-based matchmaking. That's just we're all the same rank. Even if I'm not the same skill as that person that's the same rank, we're still here together. That is kind of why the skill-based matchmaking is a little wonky in Marvel Rivals. Now, for those of you guys that don't know, I used to professionally coach League of Legends. League of Legends is one of those games that's been around for a very, very long time and had been through a lot of different iterations in terms of their matchmaking system. Here is how their skill-based matchmaking works. So the game does try to pair you with ranks that are similar, but they also have something called MMR, which is matchmaking rating. Now, there is a baseline of which a rank is in terms of that matchmaking rating. Let's just say the matchmaking rating needed to be platinum is 1400, okay? So keep that with me. Platinum is 1400 MMR. When you make an account, the game has a default MMR to it, which means, let's just say I just made an account and my MMR is 1000. Well, the game is gonna say, how many points can you get during your placements? Usually placements are about 10 games. I don't know if they decreased it, but this is why we have placements. Your account has a rank. It has a number, but you can't see it. You can't see it. This is a number that nobody can see at all. If I win and I go from like 1000 to 1200 to 1300, I should be placed gold because in my placements, the numbers were adding up even though I had no rank. So now I'm gold. Now let's just say, okay, the game decided you to be gold, you're 1300 points. Great. If you start losing, you're going to start losing MMR. Even if you win, lose, you're going to lose a hidden number on your account that's dragging you down, even though your rank is still here. Why does the game do this? Why does it focus more on matchmaking rating than it's focusing on your actual rank? Because this is a great way to let the game know where you deserve to be. If your hidden number is losing and gaining points, this lets them know to put you with those players, not to put you with the people that have the same rank as you. Even if you get demoted when a new season starts, the game still factors that in. So let's just say I ended the season diamond. Woo! whoo, I'm happy. And then the next season starts and I'm demoted to, let's just say, gold. The game isn't like you're a gold player now. The game is like you're still diamond, you just don't have that rank. Your point system still says 1500. Let's just say that's where the diamond is, right? So the game is like your account's still 1500, bro. You're just gold for some reason. When you win, your points are still going up and down, but your rank is still gold. However, the cool thing about MMR is that when you win, you gain more points to get back to where you are. This is something that helps Smurfs climb way faster. It's because the points adjust even though the rank doesn't. If the game is like, bro, you're smurfing, you have so many more points compared to your rank. Here's 50 points. Here's 60 points. Until you reach the number that matches the rank, it's going to give you, more points. Now, there is a double-edged sword to that system. The game has some safety nets for you, such as demotion protection. If you are losing and you get to that demotion protection and it protects you from demoting, well, guess what? You're still going to lose points. So if I get to demotion and I lose 3 games, but I don't demote and I start winning again, well, the points still drop below that rank. So you should still be playing with people below the rank, not the people that are your rank. It's a very weird system, but it's a great way to adjust where people deserve to be. In that same example of losing though, if the game thinks you need to be lower, you're going to gain less points inherently. It has nothing to do with your player performance. If your number is not correct with that rank, or if it's not higher than that rank, you're going to gain less points and you're going to lose more points. If the average number is I gain 20 and I lose 15, but your MMR is higher than that rank, you might get like 30 or 40 points and lose about like 10. Because the game is like, well, we're just trying to push you back to where you were because you're annoying everybody in your rank. If it's lower than that though, and it's like I'm gold, but my MMR is like bronze, the game is like, ooh, we'll give you points for winning, but I don't think you deserve to be here yet. So if you lose, we're gonna make you lose like 30 points. It's drastic though, and that doesn't happen that often unless you go on a severe loss streak, but that's how the skill-based matchmaking works in League of Legends. And that is important because we don't have that in Marvel Rivals. There's no MMR to my knowledge. We're just playing with people with the same rank. Again, that doesn't mean that we're all the same skill level. It just means that someone got there, whether they got boosted, whether they paid for it, whether they had a friend to do it, whether they played in a group, whether they played something broken in OP and they don't really know how to play the game properly. A lot of these things factor in when there is no matchmaking rating, no MMR. This also means we're not going to get placements until we have a system like that. So hopefully in season 3 that happens. Hopefully the whole rank ladder just resets and we can really start on a fresh spot to have better matchmaking in terms of skill based. So now that we're talking about the player enjoyment aspect, let me start by saying this. This is not my first competitive game and it won't be my last. I love competitive games and I've always played them, whether it's fighting games, MOBAs, real-time strategies, whatever. I've played a lot of competitive games. Their matchmaking system works generally the same, but I know for a fact how Riot's matchmaking works because the devs are very transparent about how the player enjoyment factor works. Again, I think players are confusing EOMM with player enjoyment. This is how it works in League of Legends, and this is usually how it works in a lot of other games too. The developers want you to have fun. The developers want you to play more. What happens when you start losing? You feel horrible, you feel like crap, and you kind of don't want to play anymore, right? So what the game tries to do is pair you with people that are already winning, whether it's a lot, whether it's a little, but they're winning more than you are. And they're saying, here's a little pick-me-up, enjoy yourself, you win that one, good job. Many games do this. And as I said before, League of Legends confirmed that they do this. I don't know if it's like that now, but it was like that when I played. They confirmed that when you do lose too much, the system is going to put you with people that are a little bit better or on win streaks because they want you to win. They don't want you to continuously lose and de-rank. It's not fun. You still need to have a good business. Games are a business. If your customers are not happy, they're not going to play the game and you're going to go out of business. This is why League of Legends has been around since 2009. They know exactly what they're doing and they do their best to make things work. Engagement-oriented matchmaking is a theory, but player enjoyment is a fact for many games. If you end up losing too much, the game will put you with people that are winning so that way you can get your win and then you can feel better and you can start winning on your own. That being said, if you win 5 games in a row and things like that, well, the system is like, we're going to put you with people that aren't having a great time so you can carry them. Again, that's not EOMM. That's not engagement-oriented matchmaking. That's just making people have fun with the game. That's all that it is. Now, a lot of players are like, well, Poppin, you see, that's why I can't climb. Well, on my main account, I have about 1,300 hours and I have about 4 to 5 accounts that I've climbed specifically for learning about the game and to teach you guys. But also, to disprove a lot of these theories that we have in Marvel Rivals. If this were a thing, I and other Smurfs that climb, or even people who boost, would be struggling too. There is a reason why players that are better than you aren't stuck in the ranks that you're stuck in due to EOMM. We're good enough to win. That should signal to you that EOMM is not a real thing. It should signal to you that you're just not good enough to play, or you're not good enough to climb. Now you might be thinking, well, Poppin, I win 5 or 6 games in a row, and then I go on a huge loss streak. I rank up and I go on a huge loss streak. I get close to a rank and I go on a huge loss streak. Why am I going on loss streaks every single time I do well? Now I want to say that you're not wrong. When you go on streaks and you start winning 5 or 6 games in a row, or you start getting close to your next rank, or you even rank up, you will start losing. But it is not because of EOMM. It's because you're playing with players that are better than you. This is a ladder game. The better that you, or the more that you climb, the more you're going to play against people that are better than you. This is something that a lot of players, I guess, just forget. You're not supposed to win. You're not supposed to just play the game and just get automatic wins. That's not how it works. You are going to, if you're bronze and you get to silver, well, guess what? They're silver players now. If you get to silver, or you go from silver to gold, they're gold players now. This continues to happen until one above all. If you are in the top 500, but you have 100 points, you're way different from the person that has 500 points. This happens all the time. It's not EOMM. It's the fact that you're getting to ranks that you can't compete in anymore. And instead of taking that responsibility and saying, oh, I'm not good enough, it's your team. When I play on stream, a lot of players tend to think that when I start losing and a game is like really hard, they start saying, well, EOMM is why you're losing, Poppin. And this isn't something that happens in one stream, it's every stream. Every stream, if I have a really, really hard game, someone in chat generally says EOMM. And y'all know who y'all are. I love y'all, but y'all know who y'all are. But then I turn around and win the match because I do something differently and carry the team. This is on my main account, by the way. Not smurfing. I guess to be fair, my main account is lower than where I ended last season. I just started ranking as a personal thing. My bad. Back to the point. What I'm saying is, it doesn't matter if I'm smurfing or not. You can impact the match. The thing is, when you sign up for that EOMM, you're accepting defeatist mentality. When you're playing matchmaking or anything competitive, a lot of the competitiveness, whether it's in video games or real life, is about your mindset. If you go into a match thinking you're going to lose, or if you start thinking you're going to lose mid-match, you will lose. Now you might be thinking, well, Poppin, I understand the mindset. I have a great mindset. I'm awesome. But my teams always do stupid stuff. How is that a matchmaking problem? How is your team playing characters they don't play and roles they don't play a matchmaking problem? How is your team playing when they're drunk, playing when they're tired, playing when they're sleepy? That's the same thing. Playing when they have bad internet? How raging, being upset, crying about things, how is that a matchmaking problem? How is that EOMM? That doesn't make sense. The game's job when they do matchmaking, whether it's great or not, it's to put you with people that's your same rank. That's all. What players do, the game can't control for any matchmaking game ever. That's not happening. I can't queue into a match and the game just shocks me and it's like, okay, I play normal, let's play. That doesn't happen. If someone decides to queue when they don't feel like it, like I said, hot, tired, sleepy, their sister or brother's bugging them, they're babysitting, their mom and dad is yelling at them, their internet is spotty, they didn't eat yet, they're mad at work, they're mad at school, and they play a game and they start raging, or they start playing poorly, or they watch a YouTube video or a streamer saying this is the most broken character ever, and then they play it in your match and do horrible. All this stuff has nothing to do with matchmaking, has nothing to do with EOMM. In my experience, the EOMM thing is a theory. And why I say this is because Marvel Rivals is the only community that I know of that has an excuse for why they can't climb every single season. It's not just one, it's every single season. You don't believe me? Season 0. Inflated players on Reddit, Twitch, YouTube, etc. Any social media. I can't climb because inflated players. Fiction matchmaking, inflated players. Season 1. I can't climb because I'm not playing a diver. Nerf divers because I can't climb. Divers automatically win. If you don't play a diver, you lose. Season 1.5. Performance based. I can't climb if I don't play DPS. Supports get less points. Tanks get less points. I can't climb because that's why. Even though the points difference, that I did a video on it, the point difference was like 5. If anything. That's max. Most of the time it was like 2 or 3. Which, how does that prevent you from climbing? And then now, season 2, we have EOMM, a new theory. Season 3 is gonna have another theory. Season 4 is gonna have another theory. And we're just gonna keep doing this until we can get better at it as a community and just be like, you know what? I'm just not good enough. I'm gonna need to improve. Until we can get into that mindset, this is gonna go on and on and on. And unfortunately, No matter what I say, no matter what another creator says that might be on the same wavelength, no matter what a top #1 player says about anything, any of these theories, players still love to believe that there's something else wrong other than they can't play well themselves. If you're someone who truly believes in EOMM, if you truly believe that matchmaking is against you, I want a challenge, okay? Link your account in the description below, or you can come into my Discord and DM me, and I will make a video going over your account, and we will see, is the game causing you to lose, or could you have played anything better? And I will not be biased. If you guys know on my channel, I am not biased. I am one of the most transparent content creators on YouTube. I guarantee you I'm not biased. So if you really feel like EOMM is why you're losing, if you feel like that's why you quit the game or whatever, the challenge is either come to my Discord or just link it below, the name of your account, and I will go on your account. I'll make a video on it. I will go on your account and we will go through your games and we will see if the game is actually making you lose or if you're just not playing well. And I guarantee you nobody's gonna accept that challenge because you know for a fact that EOMM is something you rely on to make yourself feel better. All we're doing is just accepting confirmation bias. If you have a bad game, it's because EOMM. If you go into the next game and have another bad game, it's because of EOMM, which basically means your brain is very smart and it's saying, well, I'm gonna make you feel better by making you believe something. That way you can feel better because our brains are wired to make us feel good, make things easier for us, right? That's what confirmation bias does. You see something that you're thinking and your brain automatically says, you're right, that's why. That's why I don't think anybody's gonna accept the challenge, because confirmation bias is one of the major factors to why players don't climb. And as a professional coach, like I said, for League of Legends, this is something that a lot of players had a hurdle with. But as soon as we talk, as soon as we meet, as soon as we have our coaching sessions, the players start skyrocketing in rank. That's not a plug about my coaching sessions. That's not a plug. I'm just saying that's what happens. Because when you meet with someone who really understands the game and they talk to you on a really personal level and we get through all the problems that you're having, that's when you start having it click and that's when you start climbing. So again, for anyone who really thinks that their account is plagued with EOMM and that's why you can't climb even though you're the best God-given player ever in the world, link that account or message me in Discord and I will make a video about it and we will go through that account and we will see, is EOMM real or not? Because I can't do it based off my 5 or 6 accounts. But if it's someone who really feels that their account is like that, then that's the control group right there. That's the experiment right there. Anybody feels that way, please let me know. Otherwise, can we please just stop having these nonsensical reasons why we can't climb, guys? You guys are way better than that, right? We as players are way better than that. Just improve. I make a lot of videos on this channel to help you guys. If I thought EOMM was real, I wouldn't be making these videos. I'd be making toxic videos. I'd be making troll videos. But I truly believe in you guys. This is why I make this content. This is why whenever you guys ask me, Poppin', I struggle with this, I make videos for you. I believe in you. All I'm asking is for you to believe in yourself and just stop with these theories, man. That's all. The game is still a baby. They have not figured everything out with matchmaking, but I guarantee you, if you give it time and be more supportive, instead of saying the matchmaking is rigged, and give them real information on why you feel that the matchmaking is very difficult, they can improve on that each patch and they will make a better game for you guys. But in order for that to happen, we gotta stop this. That's all I'm saying. Now, at the end of the video, I usually do a hashtag let's talk and I answer your comments and stuff like that, but not for this video. But I want the last thing that I say to be the challenge. I want you guys to leave this video knowing that if you really feel like your account is cursed or played with this nonsense rigged matchmaking, your last thought of this video is, I want to take Poppin' up on this challenge and I'm going to go to his Discord and give him my account or link my account in the description to search up. That's what I want the last thing you guys hear and see on this video. So that's why I'm not gonna do a hashtag let's talk. I want someone to accept that challenge so that I can do a video on it and we can get down to, is EOMM real? As I said before, they did not disclose anything about that, and any creator that cites anything could have either embellished or maybe warped the truth a little bit to fit their narrative. But as of right now, in the time of releasing this video, there has been no address to how the system works or EOMM in that regards. If you do have that link, let me know in the description below and I will gladly read it. However, I want one person to take me up on my challenge who really thinks that their account is plagued and they're the best player in the world and they can't win or climb because EOMM. Thank you guys for watching, and until next time, you know what I always say. Thank you guys for doing what? Poppin' often. We'll often.